So in staying with this sort of topic of how are you managing yourself and, fortifying for the fight online, I want to talk about some real online stuff this week that was, I don't even want to call it wonder, but it was bringing a few moments of joy. And it's really been open to crazy online interpretation and so much judgment. So, judge me if you will, but my wonder this week, or my moments of wonder this week, are largely coming from the release of the Taylor Swift album. I am not a Swiftie. I'm too old for that, actually. Like my oldest daughter, all three of them now, but my oldest daughter was, singing Love Story and Our Song before she could even properly pronounce the words. She would sort of march around the house and sing those songs. So she has been a Taylor Swift fanatic in the early days since she was like 4. And so I'm clearly too old for it. So I loved Taylor for like what Taylor did for my daughter, but whatever. I was not into the lore or the Easter eggs or any of that stuff. I'm too old. I'm just too old for that. However, I'm sort of, so two things. One, I have actually been a Travis fan for a while. Well, not really. I've been a Jason fan for a while, and Travis just happens to be on the same podcast as Jason. So I found these guys when they were both in the Super Bowl together, however many years ago, and was so intrigued by the story of brothers playing each other in the Super Bowl that I just sort of following everything, much to my husband's chagrin, because he is a dyed-in-the-wool, will go to his grave loving maybe the only thing more than me, which is the Washington football team. I know my place, and I think I come second to them. So it's really hard for him that I have any kind of positive emotion toward the Philadelphia Eagles. And because of Jason Kelce, I do. Anyway, I digress. What I'm trying to say is I've been a Kelce fan for a while. I listened to the podcast. It was kind of the family running joke that I was like big into the Kelce's podcast, and then this whole Taylor Swift thing happened. And so that, I was rooting for them as a fan of the brothers. I was rooting for this like love story to be real. So all this to say, I was tuned into the fact that this album was coming out. My oldest daughter actually went to visit her friend for the weekend in order to celebrate Taylor in a way that only they could. And so I knew it was coming out. I knew when it was over. I listened to it. I actually liked it because it was like not too deep. I know a lot of times people are like, she's saying this and she's whatever and diss tracks. And like, I don't know the lore enough to know. I don't know what the diss tracks were. I don't know if they're justifiable. I don't even know if they're real. I liked the music probably because it sounded like a million other songs by a million other people. Like, it's not the most creative. It's not the most original album because, who is original these days? I feel like all music sounds a little bit like recycled music from the 70s and 80s and 90s. Which is fine. I mean, that's just what music is. Like, something works, stick with it. But I really liked it. But more to the point of what's bringing me joy this week, or what has brought me moments of joy this week, is not necessarily the album or people's reactions to the album, because boy, are there many. It's a good distraction. But the Kelces have brought me wonderful moments of joy. Their podcast, they talk about it. They specifically talk about the one song that is probably about Travis's anatomy, and it's just hilarious. It's hilarious. They're funny. Jason continues to be just the dreamiest of all. Oh, look, we get a special visitor today. What do you think, Fred? You like the new Taylor Swift album? Anyway, it's good stuff, and it has been bringing me great joy. Sorry, now all the dogs want to be part of it. So I'm going to sign off and tell you to, if you don't like Taylor Swift, fine, go listen to the Kelce's podcast and have a good laugh. Keep finding wonder in the weeds, folks. I know I am.